next speaker is the founder and lead for Giza, the leading ZKML solution on StarkNet. Give a warm welcome to Fran.
Hello. Everyone, this is not working? Oh, yes, okay. So I'm Fran, co-founder of Giza, and I'm going to talk about how we are growing ZKML with Orion. But this is not working. Do you know actually like what is ZKML? Can you raise your hand if you know what is ZKML? Yes, okay, some of you are familiar with ZKML. So basically what we are doing with ZKML is we can generate knowledge proofs of machine learning inferences, and in this case we are using these knowledge proofs in order to bring machine learning inferences into smart contracts. And how we are doing it, we are building at Giza a framework that is called Orion. And Orion is our open source ZKML framework, which enables us to go from a trained machine learning model like PyTorch or TensorFlow into anything that is verifiable. In this case, we are using Cairo, and we can generate these start proofs of the execution of the machine learning model. With Orion, we have different parts. For example, we have the framework itself. We also have the hub, which is basically where the community is posting like examples, tutorials, and all of that. The academy, which is basically how people learn with everything that we are building, and the toolbox, which is basically auxiliary tooling that we provide to developers so they can easily transform these models into verifiable models and how to scale them together. And what are the actual benefits of using, in this case, Orion compared to other frameworks? Basically, the first one is ML friendly. So if you want to build with Orion, you don't need to understand underlying cryptography. You just need to understand like how machine learning works, like if you know like how to operate with machine learning models, what are tensors, etc. It's like going to be like a very similar experience to what you are going to be used to. And you don't need to manage like constraints or public keys or private keys, so there is no need to understand this cryptography. And everything is super well documented, so like getting onboarded into the usage of this framework is very, very easy. And how this Orion framework is growing. So here you can see that we have currently more than 30 contributors in total to the whole framework for Cairo. And if you see on the right graphic, which is basically a comparison between a Snark-based ZKML framework, which is currently like the benchmark that we have. And you can see that in half the time, we get more contributors than this framework. And now we are like the most contributed framework in the whole ecosystem. But it's not just about the total contributors that we have, because something that is very important is that people come back every month and contribute, creating new value, creating new solutions. And in this metric that I show you is like the monthly active contributors. So how many people every month comes and build things with Orion. Currently we have more than 15, which is more than double that the current benchmark in ZKML frameworks have, which is very, very nice. But it's not just, okay, what people come, contribute, build primitives, build things. It's also what they actually build in hackathons with this framework. And these are some of the prizes that the community basically win using Orion: 7 first places, 2 second places. And basically, this really shows like how easy to use is to start working with Orion and actually build tangible solutions that are very valuable for hackathons. Now it's like, okay, but how fast is actually Orion? Here's like a comparison between 3 main frameworks. One is Ezekiel, which is the Snark-based ZKML framework. The other one is ReZero, which is a ZKVM for general purpose compute. And the last one is Orion. As you can see, Orion is very close to the most mature ZKML framework, that is Ezekiel. But the main takeaways from this is that Ezekiel is super optimized for the purpose that has been built for. Like they have parallelization, work at a very low level of constraints. And with Orion, we just code in Cairo. There is no other complexities. If you know like machine learning and you code these primitives, that's all you need to do, and you have very similar performance. And the current version of Orion, they don't have like any kind of optimization or parallelization, so everything is like a sequential and single-threaded, no acceleration, so also a very good point. And the actual prover that we are using in order to generate the ZK proofs is Platinum Prover, which is now a very early version of Cairo Prover that we use in that benchmark. And even with that early version, we are very close to that more efficient and more mature framework. And currently, what we are building at Giza, which is basically this complete infrastructure and machine learning platform for verifiable machine learning models, we have Orion at the core of the whole infrastructure and the solution that we're building. So everything is like scalable, easy to build, and very friendly for developers. These are like some of the metrics, the whole product that we are releasing and that people are using to create like ZKML models has been out there for maybe 1.5 months, 2 months at most. And during these just few months, there's like more than 400 transpilations, which is basically how we convert machine learning models in any kind of framework into verifiable machine learning models. And we have more than 500 models actually stored into our platform, ready to be used by any use case. And one of the latest things that we released, like last week or 2 weeks ago, is real-time ZKML inferences. This means that Orion is being used at the core of Giza, and from Giza we are deploying these models into a production-grade scale, and we can create these inferences at real time, which means that you can do a request and get back the results immediately. And as you can see now here, we have this whole tech stack that supports these real-time inferences from doing the inference that request, and in the background, asynchronously, we generate a proving job to generate the ZK proof associated with that inference, and that gets verified in the end in the place that you want to, if it's like on-chain, or if it is on client side, and all of that happens in our infrastructure. Here, what you can see is how the adoption of our framework is growing. As I told you, like, we released very recently our new product, which is basically called AI Actions, which is how to simplify and abstract away all these complexities of operating with ZK, and how to build with these verifiable programming languages like Cairo, for example. And now we provide a very simple, easy-to-use Python tooling where they just can build their Python models, plug into the tooling that we released, and have all these features. And you can see the graphic, how the activity by time is growing. And this means like people really are interested into the tools that we are building. And this wouldn't have been possible without all the people that are building with us. We have more than these 30 contributors. We would like to thank each of them, because without their contributions, their participation, building use cases, hackathon prizes, Orion wouldn't be like the most used ZKML framework in the whole ecosystem with free. So this is like something super important for us, that the whole community appreciates the framework and contributes back to them. And thanks to that, now the product is what it is now. So thank you very much. And if there is any question.